Hi, welcome to MyCounselor.Online. Today I'm sitting down with one of our counselors. This is Tara Riggs, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what she's passionate about here. Tara, how are you doing today?
I'm good. So excited to be here with you.
Awesome. We're excited to talk with you. So I just want to kick it off by asking you, what is your story as a counselor?
Yeah. Counseling is just something I feel like I've always kind of had a natural bend to do, all the way going back to like I remember being in high school and kind of just being that person that everyone kind of confided in and just feeling really comfortable to talk with. I ended up becoming a teacher. I did my undergrad in counseling, but became a teacher and found that even with like my middle school and high school students that I was teaching, that I cared way more about them and their story and what they were going through than I did about the content that I was teaching. And so that was like just such confirmation for me. Also, my husband and I were in youth ministry for 12 years together. And so there was a lot of counseling, probably practice in that situation, right? So lots of practice with counseling and just doing small groups and walking with the teenage girls through life and everything that adolescence brings. And so, um, and so that was really good training, probably kind of like on the job training. And then once I had an opportunity, my kids reached a school age and had the opportunity to go back and get my master's degree. I did that and jumped at the chance to do that. And so I've always just felt, even in that environment, felt so smitten with the work that I was, the classes that I was in and the teachers and all of it. And so it just feels so good. Like now that I've been practicing in private practice for 2 years now, and it just feels so cohesive with who I am. It just aligns with who I am. It feels there's such peace just in like kind of working in what I feel like God has called me to do. And I feel like it's such a sacred space that I get to share with my clients. And so I just love it. It's truly just like the joy of my life.
I love that. How did you get started with My Counselor Online, and what's your role here today?
Yeah. Yeah, so I started with MCO it's probably been 3 months ago now. And I was just kind of perusing, trying to look. I was working in a private practice, wanted to get some more hours, and so I discovered MCO in that process, and just immediately like fell in love. Like there was this recruiting packet, um, and just immediately kind of felt like these are my people and this is my place. Like this place where ministry that I've been doing for so long and that feels so familiar to me meets this crossroads of counseling and doing this work that I really love to do. And so it was this like really beautiful like emergence of these two worlds. And I was like, I get to bring my whole self as a believer, as a Christian, into the session. And I have honestly, it's been like one of the best decisions of my life that I just feel like is confirmed over and over and over, because this is a place where I am invested in and I can grow as a therapist, and I get to do the work that I love with people who are amazing at it. And so it's such the right environment for me.
So good. And we're so happy you're on our team here. And I would love to know, obviously, you and your husband have a lot of experience with young people, with youth ministry, but also what clients do you see yourself connecting with and thriving with most often?
Hmm. Yeah. So for me, I would say that um, I see us as like we're very much like social bonding animals and are creatures, you could say. And so for me, I love working in that space of relationships. So I love working in the couples relationship and looking at that, like that attachment bond. Even within, I think so many of our wounds that we see in adulthood, whether they manifest as anxiety or depression or whatever the case might be, so many of those wounds come from relationships, right? We were hurt in relationship. And so I believe that by building a relationship with my clients, we're also able to heal in that space. So I would say that my specialties would be the places where I feel like my clients thrive, and the place where I feel like I work the best is typically I work really well with depression. I feel like I see a lot of change in my clients that are suffering from depression, and couples, whether it's like premarital counseling or communication issues or infidelity. Those are all things that I feel really equipped to be able to handle them with. I have some training in those and some additional training in those areas. Um, and then, just like family relationships, even. So like those broken relationships that can happen, like typically like teenagers and parents, they really struggle, like that's a time where a lot of transition and change is happening. And so the teen parent relationship or even sibling relationships, so I enjoy that work probably the most.
That's great. That's so great. So, lastly, what can people expect when they sit down to meet with Tara? What can they expect meeting with you?
Yeah. So my my the goal that is most important to me is probably just being able to, like, I want to feel what it's like to be with the client. I want to be the client. I want to join with them. Like, I want to know, like, what is life like for that person? And I try my hardest to feel with them, right? Because I think that one of the hardest things for us in any of our struggles is to feel alone in the struggle. And so I would say that for me, like, I want to join with them. I want to come alongside them. And so I try really hard in my sessions just for my clients to feel really seen and really known in that space. And so for me to feel with them and to bring a sense of understanding and empathy um, and like that sense of like, I get it and it makes sense that you're here, right? There's nothing wrong with you and you're not alone, right? That's the message that I kind of want to communicate more than anything else. And that's where, for me, that's where the work begins, is in the relationship. Like this relationship, like I want to be a resource to my clients. I want them to know that I am always for them, and that they can draw on that, and that in that space, in that hour that we share together, that during that time that they can know that they are fully supported and that I am for them. And so that's the like I said, it's a sacred space that we get to enjoy together, and I'm so honored to just be able to walk alongside my clients on that journey.